Hey, welcome back to another video. So we're going to continue our second video on Parse. So in our first video, we went to start our application. We put some information in here and used the existing class name but called it something else. But normally when we do this, we're going to do it through main activity. We're not going to set it up under starter application. So what we want to do is we want to find my browser, which I seem to always lose, and where am I at? Parse bash. So what we want to do is we want to create we have example object CCAC. We're going to create another object, but we're going to call it something different. So let's bring this out of here. So it's in its own window. So let's get in and start in activity here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new class. So it's going to be similar to this that we have. Where's that right here? So we have parse object equals. We're just going to basically do that from the main activity here. So where we have activity main right here, we're going to hit enter. Okay, sure, that's fine. Make this bigger. Give me a second here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. No, it doesn't work on here. Weird. Thought it would let me make it bigger. Alright, bear with me here. Create my font size a little bit bigger so that you can see better. Alright, so let's go here and we'll do parse object. And we will call it, you know what, let's do this. What do we want to do? Steelers score. That will do score. Score equals new parse object. And we'll, the class name, so we want to call it something. So we'll call it score. And there we go. We'll put uppercase score. There we go. And so we have this object. And so now we want to put something. So let me actually stop real quick. So let's go back here and let's go in here and do RESTful web service commands. I think that's what we want. Get delete. All right, here. So these commands that we're using are RESTful commands. Basically, put is a request used to wish to create or update a resource. Get gets information. So these are the types of commands that we'll be using. So what we're going to use is put. So we're going to do name of our object, which is called score. Dot. Actually, it's called store. Score. Dot put. And then in parentheses, you're going to put, say, we could put username, password. So in this case, we're going to put team. So we're going to put the name of our team. And then we're going to do comma. And we're going to give it a name. We're going to say Steelers. Predict the score here. All right. And then we're going to do score.put. And we're going to put the score. And we'll put score. In this case, we'll do total points. So total points of the Steelers-Jacksonville game was what, 2016, 36 points. So when we do this, we want to use an integer value. So we don't want to put that in a string because we want this to be an integer. So we'll go down here and put a semicolon to close it out. So what we should have is we should have two columns in here. So we should have a new class here, and we should have team, and we should have we should have where are we at over here, and we should have score, total score, basically. All right. So now we have that. Now we need to save this information. So what you do is you name your object, score, and we do dot save in background. So it should automatically come up, save in background. And then what we do is we type in a new class and we'll call it new. So what's our new intent? We'll call it save callback. And what it does is it creates an exception for us in case it blows up. We need to track it in case that happens. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say if E for exception equals null. So if it equals null, then what we're going to do, come down here, and we're gonna log it through our logcat down here. So if you've seen, where are we at? Let's move this up here. We could use logcat and log it down here so we see what's going on. So we'll do log.I, and then we'll do success, and then we'll do comma, and then we'll do we successfully saved the score, the total score. All right, and then we end it. Now we have to have an else here in case something else happens. So we could say else, put space in there, else, and we say E since we put E up there, and we could print the stack trace. So print what comes back to us. And let's see here, what are we missing? We're missing this for some reason. And let's see here, that's it. So let's see if it actually works. So run it. No, I don't want to update you. Don't show this again. When it updates something, sometimes it doesn't work for me. All right, so let's see if my app even came up. Emulator's coming up. So it's running tasks right now. All right, so tasks is ran. All right, excellent. So it's up. Oops. And let's go to logcat, sorry. And everything's so big now. I was looking for a status. I'm not seeing it right now, so let's go to the website and refresh it. I don't need this right here. And let's refresh the website. We should have a new object. We do have score. And look at that, we have total score, 36, team Steelers. So this is a way that we can save information, creating objects and saving them in here, so you can create them in here. It's in the cloud. What's nice is, where is my screen at? So if I went back to my module right here, close that. I have this server up and running, so if I'm not using this, I can stop the server, but when I'm running it, I can run it. So as you see, it's running right now. I have the server up and running. So this is beautiful. It's in the cloud. It can be saved anytime. So think of this right here. If you have an app somewhere and you want to have information at all times, it's saving it to the cloud constantly, because whenever a cloud's running, you could have a multiple. Now we just have one server. We can have multiple servers. So it's always up and running. Let's go ahead and learn how that we can get the information that we just put in this object. So let's see if we could download this information and get it into our app. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to comment out what we've already did so it doesn't do anything, and come down here and all right. So now we're going to create a query. A query is a way to query information. So let's go down here, right here. Okay, so type in parse query, and we will do parse object, right? And then we will do query equals parse query dot get query. Okay, and then we'll do score. All right, there we go. All right, so now we do query dot, and we're going to put it in the background. Should pull up right away. And then what we want to do is we need to go out to our object. Now, when we actually write an app, we'll have this connected so we don't have to go out and manually do this. So I'll copy the object ID. I'll come in here, and in parentheses, I'll put the object ID. So I'll do this, and then I'll be able to capture that object ID. I'll do new get callback, and then we'll do our parse object. Now, the void done is where we have to do some work here. So it's querying in the background. Now we want it to do some work. So it parses the object, and we need to get exception as well. So let's do if E equals null and object, the object that we're grabbing, doesn't equal null. Let's do something. So let's do this. And what we'll do is we'll log it. We'll say log.I. And what we'll do is, we have team and score, right? Let's double check. So we have score and team, so we'll do score. object dot get string, and then we'll do score, and we have this, and there we go. And then we'll do the same thing for team. So we'll have team, make sure you have this spelled right, object dot get string, so we're getting the string, and we're putting in team. Excellent. Good. So, and we need to put this at the end, forgot to do that. So hopefully we should be able to get the information back in here. So we'll actually, not on the GUI, but we'll get it in the log. So again, hit OK. And let's see if it runs. Where's it at? There it is. Cradle's building it. Nothing yet, still running. Alright, so it's giving me all kind of funky stuff here, but it should have the score on here. It blew up on me, and it should have worked, but code's right. But I think what I forgot to do is I forgot to. I'm sitting here recording, thinking I'm recording. I'm not. So let's do this again. I am going to change this around. I had score as a string instead of an integer. So let's do it again. And I apologize. I am sitting here recording, but I wasn't. I was just talking to myself. So let's do score. And we want to break it down as an integer, so I'll put integer, and I'll put dot to string, and we'll do object dot get integer. So we want to convert it, and then in parentheses, we want to put score, and then we want to close it. Now let's see if it works, and I am recording this time, so that's good. So we'll know in a moment here. All right, so we have nothing here. So let's see. Oops. So it didn't blow up, so that's good. Let's go down here and look at the log. And it was successful. Oh, perfect, it worked. So we have team and Steelers, and that's what we had in our thing down here with team and score. So that was fine. So we were able to grab information from the cloud and put it here. So this is excellent, perfect, awesome, good job. Change the score. So we have the score is 36. So in SQL, it would be an update statement. So we're going to basically change what we have here. So we're going to come down here and hit enter. And I'm going to type object dot put. And then I'm going to put, what's the name of object? Not tech, wrong object. I'm going to put in parentheses. Oh, geez. All right, so I want to put the name of what I want to change, which is object with score. And I'll do comma, and I'll do a new score. I'll put, we'll say the Steelers, they threw an interception in the end zone, which could have been a touchdown. So that could have been 6-7 points. And then they missed the 2-point conversion, which the TV shouldn't show. So that could have been 8 points. So let's say that the score was 28. Instead of 36, it was another 44. So let's put 44. All right. And then exit there. And then we want to save this in the background. So we'll do object dot save in background. And so what should happen is it should pass that object to score, and it should save that information to 44, and we should get it back, and we should see it and everything. So let's go ahead and rerun it. Let's see if it ran already. So it's parsed to server. It didn't go up here yet, so we know that didn't, because it is running probably. Let's go on to build. It's still building. Building as we speak. So what we're hoping to see is we're hoping to get a different score back, and we're hoping 44 to get back, and because we're doing it ahead of time, we're putting it out there and saving it in the background, and then we should get two things. We should get 44 back here, which is taking a long time, and then we should get that information here as well. All right, so we did get it here, so the score has been modified, the 44. So I was hoping to see it in the log here, and it's taking a while to sync back, which is not ideal. All right. Trying to split it down here. I'm not sure why it didn't come back on here, but it should have got it. So let's stop it. Nonetheless, I know it works because we got it here, and that's what matters at this point. So that's good. It's the conclusion of this second video. So we were able to figure out how to get objects and how to push objects. So apparently we ran that multiple times, which is crazy. And you could also go in here and do webhooks, which is something for web services. There's jobs, so you can schedule jobs to run. You can go in here and look at the logs, and you can see the stuff that we've already been doing here. So it'll show everything that we've used against the server. So this is how Amazon keeps an idea of what we're doing and be able to charge you. So we have that information here. We have errors, no errors, so that's good. There's a configuration that you could dynamically create your first parameter. There's an API console. So we talked about web services before, so now we can actually use web services up here in the cloud as well. But right now we're just kind of messing around with this session information, and we're so it shows our session, our user, who we have on file here, objects that we've created, and so forth. So we've got a lot of good information. So stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.